New Year, friends. 2020 is here, and as a menopausal mama, you might be thinking, Jeepers Creepers, it's the 6th of January. How am I gonna get started? If you're in survival mode, you are not alone. I think so many people have woken up today. It's Monday. A lot of people are back to work, back to the normality of life. Christmas decorations still might be up, and you're just thinking, what happened? Where did the time go? Family may have been with you, they may have departed, you might have been having parties. And I think a lot of us are waking up today, or, on this Monday, thinking, where am I going to start? I think the new year has begun. We set a lot of resolutions for ourselves. And I think particularly when we're menopausal, we're obviously going through that stage of life that's incredibly challenging in any case. You feel a lot more frazzled. You're not sleeping as much as you normally do. We tend to crave the carbs because of the way our blood sugars are working and because of our falling estrogen in our body and the knock-on effect that has with the rest of the hormones in our bodies. I know that the festive season can be incredibly tumultuous and challenging for a lot of us, particularly if you're away from home, visiting family, living by other people's rules, following other people's timetables, being fed by other people's kind of food, drinking their drink, etc. Or you may have been having people over to you, and you might just have been really sensible and decided you were just going to stay in and keep it really peaceful and quiet. But I think for most of us, my family left this morning. They've been with us for a few days to catch my son in his show that he was doing, and it's been lovely to see them. And now I'm getting back to work. I've got to declutter. The Christmas decorations have all got to come down today. I've literally got the house is on the market, and all of a sudden the housing market has picked up, and people want to come and view. So it's just like, how am I going to do it all? So I thought today I would sort of go over how to give you a few tips to make life easy getting into the new year, particularly being menopausal, with a real onus on that, because I think it's easy to think, well, we're all busy, and actually this will be quite useful for anyone, whether you're menopausal or not. But the menopause really is a challenging stage of our lives. It's very easy for people to comment who aren't menopausal or aren't perimenopausal to think, oh, they're just making a fuss. You wait until you get there. I mean, I've gone through the menopause fairly easily. However, I still know that I'm more prone to anxiety. I'm more prone to disrupted sleep. Since I've been drinking wine over the Christmas period, my hot flashes are all over the shop again. Giving that up. So probably not today because I've got some wine open, so I'm going to finish that off, but I will once I've cleared out my open bottles. I'm going to be going teetotal again. Started a boot camp prep week today, and so we'll be doing our measurements, our weighing, so that's always a good incentive to stay healthy too. But I think throughout the menopause, it's such a challenging time. One of the worst things is if you're not sleeping well, it has such a knock-on effect to everything else. And I know sleep is one of the things that we really struggle with. Right now, I'm struggling like crazy to go to sleep. I go to bed quite late at the moment. I'm tired when I get there. And then I'm lying in bed for probably 2 hours trying to go to sleep. And I know that when I get my lifestyle back into some order, I will be able to sleep a lot better. And I think it is largely down to lifestyle and making the changes so that we feel like we're in control of our life and that we're not just trying to grapple our way through each day and get to the end feeling complete failures because we've not achieved what we wanted to achieve. So this my method might not work for you, but I find it's way easier if I actually batch job all the things I hate doing. So today I've got some major things on my list. It's like cleaning the outside of my windows. I hate heights. I don't like being up ladders. But I could pay somebody to do it, but my house was built in 1750 and it's got the really old-fashioned lead-lined windows and they're all bendy. They are so old, they're very fragile. So I have to go around each one with a little cloth and it takes me ages to do it. They look amazing afterwards. Again, house is on the market. Got viewings, got to be done. So that's one of my jobs. I've got to be outside. I've got to do some digging around in the garden because things have got obscured with all the mud and the rain we've had. Got to take the Christmas decorations down. I cannot wait actually just to declutter. We are taking all the cobwebs down today that seem to have invaded over the Christmas period. It really is going to be like a major spring clean, and I find it for me, because obviously I work for myself, so it's quite easy. I can do sort of the minimum amount of stuff today for work and I can batch the worst jobs ever. But if you don't have that freedom, what I would suggest to you is, if you've not already read it, there is an amazing book called Eat That Frog by Brian Tracy. I read it a few years back now. Thank you for the heart. Hey Jackie, lovely to see you. And Jill, lovely to see you too. Happy New Year. I'm sat here thinking I need to clean my windows. Get out there and do it, Jill. You'll love it. One of the reasons I was mentioning the horrid jobs, and I'll just go back onto Brian Tracy in a second, is the fact that when we have a job that you know you need to do, and it's just one you hate, and you put it off, and you put it off, and you put it off. I had filing on my kitchen table for about 8 weeks. Every time I walked past the table, it was just like, oh, the filing, oh, the filing, oh, the filing. And once I've done it, I don't think about it anymore. But we only have a certain reserve of energy. And as petty and as pathetic as that might sound, every time looking at that pile of filing, it was setting off a chain of emotions and reactions within my body, negative chemical reactions. And it was annoying me, it was frustrating me, and it was just like having a big mouldy heap of something there that I knew I needed to get rid of. Either burn it or file it, but just move it out of the way. When I did it, I felt amazing. It didn't take me that long. Why didn't I do it the first day I made that pile of filing? Lord knows, I don't know. And I think you can get into this cycle of looking at things, and it might be a stain on the carpet. My house, and I know Jill as well, we've got lots of animals, and I'm constantly getting marks off the floor. They're clean animals, they don't do their ablutions in the house, but they still occasionally bring in mud on their feet, etc., etc. The cats, I don't know how they do it, they just seem to walk in and then go and all their muck falls off onto the floor. And so there's constantly things there, and you start looking at them, you think, oh, I'll just do it another time, I'm busy. And then you keep looking at it, you just think, just do it. It takes 2 minutes to get the mark up. And when we have all these things, it's not just the pile of filing, it's not just the mark on the carpet, it's the massive pile of ironing, it's the clothes that you can't fit in your drawers and your wardrobes anymore because you've just got so many bloody clothes, it's the shoes that you can't fit on your shoe rack anymore because you've got too many and you can only wear one pair. I'm going into major declutter mode. If it's not been worn in the last year or so, unless it's like a special piece of clothing, it's being donated. Yes, I could sell them on eBay. Have I got time to sit and measure all the things on eBay? No, no. I'm just going to get rid of it. I'm going to put it in the bin bags for the clothes banks and for the charity shops. And I know I'm going to feel amazing afterwards. So one of my main tips today is to just get on top of the things that you hate doing, because it frees up energy for other stuff and it makes you feel amazing as well once you've done it. A lot of people, I would suggest, just do, if you've not got the freedom of time like I have, do the worst job first in the morning. Get it out of the way. Make that the top of your list, and also write like a big master plan. So the things that absolutely need to be done, 100%, they're absolutely important to be done. Then the things that are important but can wait a little bit, you've got a bit of flexibility and leeway around it. And then the things that you either like doing that need to be done at some point, because you'll find a lot of those things on the sort of the bottom list. So the things that are, they're not that vital. A lot of those will vanish anyway, because either somebody else will do them, they'll become less important, something will happen that will mean that they're no longer relevant. And often that third batch, a lot of those sort of fall off in any case. So, but certainly the whole point about Eat That Frog, the Brian Tracy book, just sort of scooting around, my brain is like a squirrel brain, I'm afraid, is the fact that it does suggest that you get your worst thing done in the day, and also have a list that includes maybe just 1 or 2 or possibly 3 things that you need to do on a daily basis. Every night you go to bed thinking, yay, I did it, rather than like me, I write several sheets of A4 of all my to-dos, and then I prioritize them, and but it's just exhausting. And that list is constantly changing, and I'm constantly adding to it. I found the most successful way to do it for me is to batch all the horrid jobs. So that's what I'm doing today. I should get to the end of the day feeling really proud of myself. And if I don't get all those horrid jobs done today, I mean, like, my house has expanded a bit and there are cracks in the walls, it's a really old house, it moves a lot. So I'm going to be cleaning up those and getting rid of some of the cracks and things like that. It's not a nice job. It's got to be up ladders, and I really don't like it. But I know they need doing, and I'm going to feel amazing afterwards. So that's one of my tips, is don't let things sit there and fester. Get them out of the way. It frees up energy. You have only got so much energy. The other thing I was going to suggest to you to do, and I've been guilty of this the last few days because I felt so overwhelmed with stuff I've got to do. I've kind of like been paralysed with, well, what should I do? So I'm just going to scroll through my phone and have a look, see what everybody else is doing. And all of a sudden you can like lose half an hour. And it's just, I was doing that at 2:30 this morning because I couldn't sleep. Is that going to help me sleep? Of course it's not. I mean, what a stupid thing to do. I should have put on a meditation that I like listening to and just been sensible about it. But because my brain had gone like into panic mode, I just wasn't thinking clearly. I was exhausted. And when you have like, if you can set a plan together that is going to help support you in your health, you know, finish off the bags of biscuits that you've got, finish off the boxes of sweets that you've been given, you know, finish off the bottles of wine if you've got them open, but then get rid of them and don't replace them. And then once you've cleared the cupboards of all the shit, or give it away ideally, just give it away if you can, then you can make a plan to get healthy. And the cornerstones, good sleep, absolutely crucial, because if you don't sleep well, you're going to be craving all the things that aren't going to make you sleep well the next night either. Get your body moving, whatever it is, even if it's just going out for a walk in the sunlight 30 minutes a day, do it. Whatever it is for you, make sure you move your body. Try and eat clean, get rid of the rubbish, and then commit to cleaning up your food, cutting out processed foods, trying to cut out as many, if not all, sugars. Sugar is the one that really upsets our hormones, particularly through the menopause. It makes us release cortisol through nutritional stress, which then affects our estrogen levels. Just bringing this back into the menopause, being as it is Menopause Monday. Sugar is one of the biggest things, the worst things, the biggest baddies that we can possibly eat. It affects us on so many levels. If you buy packaged foods, have a look at the labels on the back of them. You want to have high fibre compared to the sugar. So, for instance, most things are going to have probably more sugar in them than fibre. If you can get that reverse, so higher fibre than sugar, then brilliant, it's healthy, pretty much healthy. But if it's got 3 grams of sugar and 9 grams of fibre, brilliant. If it's got 9 grams of sugar, 3 grams of fibre, again, that's not so bad. If it's got over 10 grams of sugar, just put it back on the shelf. No matter how much fibre it's got in it, just stick it back on the shelf. It's not going to be very good for you. So just be aware of labels. So many of our foods are labelled and marketed as healthy or natural, and it's just a load of rubbish. It absolutely drives me insane. I have got an IGTV on one of my Wellness Wednesdays about food labelling. And I go into it in detail, and I go through some of like the most popular foods that we all buy, thinking that they're healthy and they're not. So you might want to have a look at that. It was about 9 weeks ago that I did that. And so, yeah, create a structure that is going to support you on every level. Make sure you're drinking enough water. So to know how much water you should drink, weigh yourself in pounds, divide that by 2. And the answer is how many fluid ounces every single day you should be drinking as a minimum. If you're menopausal and having a lot of hot flashes, you probably want to be drinking more water. Again, if you're eating a lot of sugar, try and flush it through with more water. I've got 1 mince pie left to eat. I can't leave it. I made it and they're delicious. They're not overly sweet, but I'm going to have that this afternoon in between one of my horrid jobs as my treat. And then that's it, done. No more baking. They're out of the way. Whew. Until next year. I would also suggest you put together your goals. I don't know whether you're into vision boards or things like that. I think they're a great idea. For me, every day I actually build a vision board on Canva. If you've not heard of Canva, it's a free app. Canva. It's brilliant, and you can it's got all sorts of templates in there, but you can do a search for photos in there, and it will help you come up with things that you might want to include on your vision board. Or if you've got your own photographs, or you like cutting pictures out of magazines, put them on a vision board and look at it every single day, but really feel it, really get into the emotions that invokes. And you have to the whole sort of purpose of the vision board is that you're actually believing that's what you've got now, even though obviously you haven't. Right now, if you sat here and you closed your eyes and you thought about the biggest, juiciest, brightest yellow lemon, and then you think about feeling it and squeezing it, you know, and then that aroma that comes out of it. You might think about slicing it up and, you know, when the juice comes out of it, or squeezing it into a glass of water. You know, most of us now will be salivating thinking about a lemon. Well, it's the same with a vision board. Our brains are already making us salivate thinking about that lemon. It's the same kind of principle applies when you are imagining yourself being in that situation that's on your vision board. The brain will create those energetic vibrations, which will be sending out, and that's what a like attracts like. So as far as a vibrational energy thing, they're very, very important. But your brain aligns to the fact that you know, for instance, if you want to be on that beautiful beach in the Maldives in probably January next year, or maybe probably January next year, it gives you 12 months to get there and work out how you're going to do it. And you know, you don't even know exactly how you're going to do it, but just having those things there on your vision board, your subconscious becomes aligned with them. I think vision boards are incredibly powerful. A lot of people think, oh, they're just woo-woo and they don't work. From my experience, and a lot of other people that I know, their experience, when you don't just look at it every day, but you look at it and just spend 5 minutes feeling it, it's so, so powerful. I don't quite know how it works, but it does. Have faith in it. If you've got big goals, put them on your vision board and just invest 5 minutes every day. You know, invest 5 minutes doing something positive that's going to move you forward, rather than 5 minutes like I did last night scrolling social media, and it's doing nothing for your life to take your life further forward. And you know, we all have 24 hours a day. People say to me, how do I find time to work out every single day? Because I make time. It's an absolute priority of mine. When I've worked out, I'm more focused, I'm more productive, I'm happier, I'm healthier. 30 minutes is 2% of my 24-hour period. It's nothing. Even if I'm leaving the house at 5 a.m, I will get up at 4 and I'll do my workout without a shadow of a doubt. I have to work out in the morning. Afternoons, it doesn't work. I've lost all motivation to work out by then. So, but you choose the time of day that works best for you. But it is absolutely crucial to move your body. It has so many other benefits that are going to help you and support you. We're designed to move. We're not designed to be sedentary. So even me, you know, I work at the laptop for a lot of hours a day, despite the fact that I run health and fitness groups. So that 30 minutes of focused movement. But then I don't waste time normally, apart from like last night, scrolling unnecessarily. I don't watch an awful lot of television. You know, the time that I use, I try and really make sure I'm maximising what I'm doing. There's a great book, another really good book called The Slight Edge, written by Jeff Olson. If you read that, if you're interested in bringing your life up to the next level, I would say that's probably the most effective, most impactful book I have ever read. It's amazing. And it's the tiny little choices that we make every single day. And this is what I write about in my posts a lot, is, you know, do you spend 5 minutes, that insignificant 5 minutes scrolling Facebook? Yeah, of course you can. It's going to make no big difference today. But compound that 5 minutes every single day for the next 5 or 10 years. How much time does that work out at? How much more? And it's also taking you away from possibly your goals. You're going to be going down like this because it's a waste of time, it's a waste of energy. If you're doing something that's going to help build you up, get you closer to your goals, that 5 little minutes every single day is going to help you get nearer to your goals. And it's all about taking the steps and making the right actions that are going to consistently build up and compound to help you get to where you need to be. So just bear that in mind. Sorry, my son's just stoking our log burner. If you can hear some funny noises in the background. Just bear that in mind, that when you're doing something that is a time waste, you're not just wasting that moment in time, you're wasting the time when you could be doing something productive towards something better. So you just bear that in mind. So many of us do it. But having read that book, every time I catch myself wasting time, it's just like, oh, no. I'm on the downward curve, so I've got to get it back up again. And it can become quite obsessive, but it has amazing results. Why waste time? Our time is probably our most valuable asset. Why waste it? So if you've not read The Slight Edge, and if you're interested in personal development and sort of getting closer to your goals, read that. It's brilliant. It's Not Expensive by Jeff Olson. Another thing I would suggest you get is a slow cooker. I got mine from Tesco's. It's about £15 a couple of years ago. Right now, I know we've got a really busy day ahead. I've already put a healthy curry in. Just bung my spices in, chickens in. I know that come 7 o'clock when we're ready to eat, it's all going to be done. All I've got to do is cook some rice for the kids, and I have mine with salad and cottage cheese. And it's done. And it means that, again, it's that energy expenditure. I think as a mum, one of the biggest binds for me is thinking, oh God, what are we going to eat tonight? You know, my son likes something slightly different. My daughter will eat what I eat, but you know, so it's trying to find something that we all like and that sort of ticks all the boxes. And one of the biggest things is just like, oh, you know, again, and on another day, it's just like, I've got to find something to eat again. Well, the beauty of a slow cooker, you make that decision in the morning, you bung it in, and it's done and it's ready. And you don't have to think about it at all. If you go out all day long, put the slow cooker on a timer. So I tend to put frozen meat or frozen vegetables in the slow cooker. So if I know if I'm leaving the house at say 6 or 7 a.m, I put the slow cooker on a timer, and then at say 12, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, clicks on. So at 5, 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock when we want to eat, it's ready. So again, it's finding those little things that make your life easier and taking the thought energy away, so you're freeing up more thought energy for things that are going to be beneficial for you. It also means that you don't come home at the end of the day thinking, well, I still don't know what I'm going to eat, so I'm just going to go to the drive-through, because then it's just like, well, that's like a massive fail. You know, have it as an occasional treat, but don't rely on that every day just because you've not thought about what you want to eat. What else did I want to say to you? Oh, the other thing also, I mean, this is a big one. If you're at work today, or you're catching up with this at a later date, and you're back, it's Monday, and you're just thinking, I'm back doing the same old job that I hate, change it. And I know that's a big scary thing to say. You have this one life. You don't have to be stuck. You do not have to be stuck doing what you're doing. People say, and I've got some friends who, you know, they can't quite understand why I do what I do, because I work for myself. Yes, I work quite a lot of hours because I've got big goals for my business. It gives me the freedom I need. It gives me that security. People say, no, but I like the security of having regular paycheck, you know, the pension, the healthcare. Well, recently, because I'm nearly 50, so all my friends, a lot of my friends are coming up to that middle age zone. You know, we're all sort of midlifers now. And I've just mentioned two of them at the moment. One, and I really hope they don't watch this and feel that I'm calling them out, because I'm not at all. One of them worked for Sainsbury's as an apprentice from school. Went through, you know, did all the apprenticeship into upper management, and then was made redundant after a whole life dedicated to that company. That's it, done. Where's the security in that? Yes, he's probably got quite a good pension, but he's now left with no job. And another friend of mine recently has worked in recruitment for years. Really, really good at his job, made redundant a few months ago. Where is the security in that? You never know when you're going to be made redundant. I think it's easier for men, and I might be wrong, but from my personal experience, I think it's easier men to get another job once you've been made redundant. Some men I know, they've not managed to find another job yet, and they've been looking for ages. A lot of women my age, particularly if we've been at home looking after the family, to try and then go into the workplace with a really good set of skills, really good personal skills, you know, organisational skills. No way. It's so hard to find a job. So, you know, for me, that's not security. That's why I do what I do. I will run online health and fitness boot camps until I turn up my toes. I love it anyway, but it gives me that freedom of time, gives me that freedom of finance, gives me that freedom to choose that I can spend a day doing all my crappy, horrid jobs and still do, you know, the bare minimum today for the business. Tomorrow I will blitz it, you know, with more time and effort put into it. But it gives you that opportunity. There are so many opportunities out there now to run your own business from home. It's not difficult. There's just so much stuff. There's so much available to you. So yeah, I would say if you're unhappy, sat in your job, back after the new year, change it. If you want any help, get in touch with me. I will explain in absolute honesty and authentic authenticities to what I do. In fact, I am going to be running a coach info session next week, so if you wanted to be part of that, send me a private message, and there is no obligation, but you might like to sort of work out, see if it's the sort of thing that you'd be interested in doing as well. And so yeah, just my advice is prioritize your sleep. Try and cut out sugars. Buy a slow cooker. They cost nothing. Get hold of Eat That Frog by Brian Tracy. Get hold of The Slight Edge by Jeff Olson. And spend some time doing your filing, decluttering, because it just makes you feel so much more focused and productive if you've got a clean space around you. And set some goals for the next year and bring those goals forward as well. So 12 months time, what do you need? What's the 6-month goal? What's the 3-month goal? What's the 1-month goal? And work back. So what do you need? I know in my business, it's in sort of laid out in such a way that in 12 months time, when I know what income goal I want to be going for, I know what I want my business, my organization to look like. So I know, I can then break that down into per month and almost per week what I need to be achieving in order to hit those goals. I might not hit them bang on, I might go beyond them, but go for lofty goals. Don't keep them too safe. Go for a goal that stretches you. Go for a goal that's realistic, but it's going to stretch you to get there. And just dedicate 5 minutes daily to that vision board. And if you think that's woo-woo, that's fine. You will. I'm sure you'll come around to it eventually. I think they're so powerful, and the organisation I work within as well. I mean, we do a lot of that sort of thing, and the people that have resisted it, they start it, and it's amazing how their businesses take off, or how their lives take off. It doesn't have to just be business related. It can be anything related. It can be relationship related. So bear those things in mind, and just tying that all back into the menopause again. Be kind to yourself. You are still, if your hormones are still around and about, which they probably are, I think personally, I think perimenopause is worse than postmenopause. Things tend to settle down a little bit, but be aware of what you eat and drink that sets off various symptoms. I know for me, wine, as much as I love it, sets off hot flushes like nuts, and I don't sleep very well, and I start to feel anxious, and I get really antsy, and I start to get those feelings of overwhelm. Had them this morning when I woke up, had them yesterday morning when I woke up. It's just like, what am I going to do next? And it's only because I suppose I'm a psychotherapist too, so I'm practiced at helping, thank you for the hearts, helping people go through what I'm experiencing. So I'm sort of using my own advice, as it were. But just, make sure you are doing the things to support you. And people say to me, but I don't want to eat clean all the time, and I don't like exercise, and I don't want to give up wine. That's fine. But then don't moan about your symptoms, because your symptoms are there because your lifestyle is not supporting your hormones. It's the bottom line. Unfortunately, that's how it is. If you want your symptoms to get better, you have to support your lifestyle. And that includes not drinking too much alcohol or cutting it out, cutting out sugars, eating a healthier diet, cutting out or reducing your processed food, prioritizing sleep. And if you say to me, but I can't sleep, if you can't start with the long sleep or the better sleep, start with the nutrition and the water, because that will support healthy sleep. Our bodies, we are just chemical reactions, and whatever we put in, we have a chemical reaction to. When you feed it with the food and the nutrients that it needs, your chemical reactions are beneficial for you. When you're filling your body with stuff that is not pro-health, you're setting up negative chemical reactions. And throughout the menopause, you know how volatile you feel. We all go through it. If you want to make the journey through the menopause easier, you have to support your lifestyle. Drink water, move your body, eat healthy most of the time, and that will help you sleep better. And then when you're finding that you are able to sleep better, prioritize sleep too. Avoid the box sets, avoid the long movies, turn it off, promote sleep, turn the lights down an hour before you go to bed. Try and read a book rather than read a Kindle try and get off your laptop 2 hours before you go to bed, because that really frazzles your brain. It's an absolute nightmare for things like that. Television actually doesn't help an awful lot either. Some people find television helps them switch off, but on the whole, if you can read a book or just meditate or listen to a meditation, that's going to do you a lot more benefit in the long run. So those are my tips for you. I hope they've helped, and take it one day at a time. If either batch your worst jobs ever, or just do the worst job on a daily basis until you've got through all your worst jobs. Do the Eat That Frog, as Brian Tracy suggests we do. And if you've not read that book, get it, it's brilliant. Okay, I'm about to go and attack my worst jobs. Don't know which one to start with. I'm just gonna do it. Wish me luck. So catch you soon.